Hi, boys and girls. All right, so today, hopefully you've already listened to the story, Sneezy the Snowman and Why Animals Hibernate. So I'm sure you saw the differences, one in just the pictures. So if we take a look, this is going to be backwards, so maybe I'll put this down. But if we take a look at the cover of Sneezy the Snowman, we can tell that the pictures are not real photos. They are illustrated and pictures that have been drawn by an illustrator. So our author is Maureen Wright. It says by Maureen Wright, and remember the author is the one that writes the words. And then we have illustrated by Stephen Gilpin, and that means he is the one that drew the pictures to go with the story. So as we know, Sneezy the Snowman is not a true story. It is a make-believe story, so it is fiction. And it is a narrative fiction because it tells a story to you. And in narrative fiction stories, you have characters, you have a setting, and you have an order of events. Usually you have a problem or a solution, something like that, to give you a story. Now, in the other book, the nonfiction book about why animals hibernate, there aren't any characters really. There's not really any talking between animals or people. It's just giving you information about different animals and why they hibernate. So today we're going to focus on Sneezy the Snowman and talk about just the story structure. We're going to talk about the characters, where the story takes place, and 3 events, what happens first, in the middle, and last. So let's take a look at the beginning of our story. So in the story, we have our characters. So I want you to think about who are the characters in the story. So in our story, Sneezy the Snowman, our characters would be Sneezy, and then they don't name the children, but they say throughout the story often the children and the things that they did, and they're in the story quite a bit. So I would say Sneezy and the children are the characters in our story. Now, where did the story take place? And you can usually find that just kind of by flipping through the book, and most of the time they spend their time outside. I would say it's probably in a yard or near the woods. So I would just say that the story takes place outside, and you can always add some more detail and say maybe outside during the winter. Okay, it's obviously not summer because there's a snowman and snow on the ground. Then it says what happened first right here. What happened first? So let's take a look, and sometimes you might have to reread the story, boys and girls, to remember what happens first. So it says, Sneezy the Snowman shivered. Brr, it's cold out here, that's for sure. I need a drink to warm me up. So he drank cocoa from a cup. He said with a smile, I like this a lot. And then right there, believe it or not, he melted from drinking something too hot. So I would say to stop there, and what happened first was Sneezy was cold. He wanted a drink, and he melted from the hot chocolate. And let me move my screen down here to get rid of that watermark. And then it says, then what happened? So let's read a little bit further. The children cried out, what should we do? A voice from the puddle said, make me brand new. They rebuilt Sneezy as snowflakes flew. A cold winter wind swirled and blew. So then what happened is the children rebuilt Sneezy, right? They worked together to make him into a new snowman. Okay, let's extend our page. And then what happened at the end? So there's probably more details that we could add for what happened in the middle of the story, but we're going to go to the end. It says, but see, Sneezy said, whew, I'm way too hot. I'll take off all the new clothes I've got. The children yelled, no, that's not the way. Listen to what we have to say. Buy something cold at the ice cream store. Have 2 scoops or 3 or 4. Sneezy ate ice cream 7 scoops high. This is great, the snowman cried. I'm not too hot and I'm not too cold and I'm not too hot. And I'm wearing clothes I like a lot. Then after eating every bite, he said, at last, I feel just right. So at the end, Sneezy wore clothes to stay cold or to stay warm, and he ate ice cream to stay frozen. So he had to find something to keep him in the middle. All right, so next week we're going to be talking more about our nonfiction story, Why Animals Hibernate. Have a great day, boys and girls.